morning, happy Sunday. I'm camped out here at the Ballard Farmers Market. I slept the night close by and then I drove in here very early before they set up the market, and that's kind of what I do. I park right in the middle because I'm on a box truck. Actually, another box truck right behind me, or that's behind me right there. Anyway, yeah, it's just a nice place. I got a coffee shop right across the street. I can go pick up some good organic food, stuff. They have all kinds of stuff, especially like the different types of sauerkraut that they have. There's one vendor that has that, and that's something you can store on board. Something you don't have to refrigerate. They used to take sauerkraut on sailing ships, across as a source of vitamin C. This is just Rick's layman's history lesson, okay? As I understand it, they used to, when they finally figured out what caused scurvy, so they had to, and it was lack of vitamins, vitamin C being the primary one, so they had to load up on something that would preserve, that would, wouldn't decompose. So sauerkraut's a good candidate for that, because literally that's how you make sauerkraut. You put it in barrels and let it start working over time. And so anyway, that's one thing to have on board in a van. I like it. It's good for you. It's supposed to be good for your guts. It also tastes good. To me, it does. Some people don't like it. Okay, well, this is another journal entry, DreamSideOut. Just a ramble, random thoughts here this morning. I'm going to still contemplate my method of dealing with condensation on the ceiling. I don't even know if I really need to do anything, because it's not really a problem yet. I was up in Duval, Washington yesterday. Actually up in, why can't I say the name of the town? Near Duval. I can't ever remember the name of that town. Anyway, I was up there somewhere near Duval, and the condensation overnight seemed to be greater than it had been down here in the Seattle area. And I wonder if that's due to the temperature change. It seemed a little cooler up there. I wonder if it has to do with altitude. I'm not sure what it is, but there was a difference. So if I were to have those kind of nights constant, I might be facing a problem of dripping, condensation dripping down on me, which is what I don't want. So I'm going to do something to stop that. And as I said yesterday, I got some Tyvek. Tyvek is a material, I didn't talk about it much. It's a material that's made by DuPont, and it's designed, it's kind of an interesting material. I've always been very fascinated with it. I use it a lot when I go backpacking, I use it as a ground cloth. People make tents out of it. Because it breathes. Air can go through and water molecules can pass through it, but condensed water does not pass through. So if you want to trap moisture or prevent condensed moisture from getting onto you or dripping onto you, that might be a way to do it. The question is, if I put Tyvek on the ceiling, in the ceiling panels, and condensation forms in there, that's going to trap the moisture in there. Question then is, where's that moisture going to go? What am I going to do with it? Is it just going to puddle up in there? Is it ever going to evaporate? Is it going to drizzle down the sides? I know they have the same problem in other types of vehicles, like airplanes. I know it's the same exact issue. But and what they do is they deal with it by giving the condensation a place to go. Because you're going to get condensation one way or another. I mean, let's say I put insulation up there, which I might do. I might put some insulation in addition to some vapor barrier of some kind. Because I've been mulling over in my mind a type of insulation I want to try to use. This is brainstorming right now, you guys. I'm brainstorming. One insulation that I want to use is wool blankets. I'd like to just take some wool blankets and fabricate some insulation panels. And I thought it'd be very cool if I fabricated some panels out of wool blankets and put Velcro on the ceiling. I could just take them off, you know, and inspect behind them. And that's the thing I'm kind of contemplating in my brain right now. I always default to the quick fix of something. I'm thinking, well, maybe I ought to take a little more time and think this through, because if I use the Tyvek and tape it on and I trap the vapor, I mean the moisture inside there, I'm going to have to make sure there's a place for it to go. If I make an insulation blanket, let's say out of a sandwich of wool and Tyvek on the top side, and then maybe some other nicer looking fabric on the other underside. I mean, this would be kind of, I'm getting a little complicated now with the insulation idea. But I could sew Velcro on the edges, you know, and then put some Velcro strips up there and just tack it up there. And then I could just take it off and look behind it and see if there's mold or anything happening up there, and clean it out and dry it and do whatever needs to be done. And then I could also take that off in the summertime, and maybe because I'm contemplating another solution for heat in the summer, which I've heard more than one person affirm, and that is a heat shield on the roof. I think that would serve me better in the summer if I put some sort of raised roof with air, you know, between the current roof, so there'd be an air space, you know, up there, if maybe this much, maybe the same height as my solar panels, and then that would act as a shade onto the roof in the summertime. And I'm kind of wondering if that even has an effect right now, because I noticed the condensation it never occurs where the solar panels are. And it does occur over my bed. That makes sense because I'm breathing and radiating heat when I'm right here. So these two panels do get a film of condensation. But the other night when I was in Duval, I got condensation on those two panels and then condensation on the two back panels, but the middle where the solar panels were, it didn't get anything. That's kind of interesting. I wonder if it's worth experimenting with. I mean, why would that be? Let's think it through. I mean, logically, why would that be? I don't think there would be a serious difference in heat transfer, because that's a conductive surface. That aluminum is highly conductive, right? So heat just wants to go through it, and that's really why the condensation is occurring, because the dew point is right up next to the surface of the ceiling. And like somebody commented, you know, Rick, all you need to do is put insulation up there and you'll reduce the heat differential. You know, that's true. Actually, I agree with that. I'm just always worried that, you know, sometimes even when you do put insulation on something, how much do you need before you're really stopping the heat transfer from happening? You know, I mean, it might in certain temperatures completely stop it, but then in other temperatures you might be still getting condensation inside your insulation, and if that happens, then it's going to soak up the insulation. And you know, I'm just always always thinking that this is a variable situation, and that was just affirmed to me the other night, because what I get down here at sea level near the Seattle and Everett area is different than what I get up in the mountains, or up toward in a higher elevation and away from in a kind of slightly different weather system. Boy, I'm rambling on this one. I almost got 10 minutes just in this one discussion. This is cool. I'm going to do this one without any edits. I think that this is one complete full talk that I just did for 10 minutes. I didn't think I was capable of talking for 10 full minutes nonstop. Can you guys stand that? I mean, come on. You don't want to hear me talk for 10 minutes? That's what I think when I do YouTube. I think, good grief, do people really want to hear some guy talking for 10 minutes? I have to confess, I don't listen to everybody's YouTubes all the time. I check in with people, and I know that's what they do with me too. You know, nobody listens to all my videos. There are a few people that do, I know, and I'm grateful in that it's faithful followers. But you know, this is just kind of a weird world, isn't it? But this is my DreamSideOut entry for today. This is Sunday, and hey, we're heading toward Thanksgiving. It's a beautiful day outside. I'll try to get some footage to add on to this. Maybe chop some of my monologue off a little bit and see if I can get some decent footage to tack on the end before I upload this. I've been uploading videos in lower resolution than I used to because it takes really a long time to upload a high definition video, or to render it. First of all, you got to render it. This is what people don't get. You got to shoot the video, that's one thing, right? Then you've got to load it on your computer or whatever editing platform you're using. Then you've got to edit the thing, and that editing can take a long time. I mean, shooting a 10-minute video can take 10 minutes, right? But editing a 10-minute video can take hours. And then rendering the thing out can take another hour or so or more, depending on what resolution you're rendering it in. And then uploading it. That's the final step, uploading it to YouTube. That can take a long time too, depending on your connection. And so these are all things that I have to consider on this daily video vlog, because I've been using my mobile hotspot to upload, and it's been working pretty good. But at some point I'm going to reach that maximum. I'm supposed to have unlimited data, but they throttle it after a certain point, so everything slows down if you use a certain amount of data. So it's not really unlimited, it's limited. I don't know why they call it unlimited, and then they tell you they throttle it. You know, it's kind of a marketing thing, I guess. But and you know, a lot of times when I upload or do that kind of stuff, I'll try to find a Wi-Fi somewhere, somebody's, you know, a Starbucks or a coffee shop or something. So anyway, you know, that all has to fit into the day somehow. So I'm getting the video part done now. What am I at? I'm already at 13 minutes. That's interesting. Just sitting here blabbing away for 13 minutes. Wow. All right. You guys have a nice Sunday, and I'll see you tomorrow.